Hello, is your friend again, Chimechin so Simon. They also call me Uncle Chimex. So today we are going to be talking about the shocking difference between federal government savings bond and federal government bond. So some people just refer to it as federal government bond, but they don't know that there's a difference between savings bond and just bond. Yeah, it can be confusing, right? But we're going to go through to know the difference between federal government savings bond and federal government bond. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to like this video. Thank you very much. All right, so the next thing here is what are federal government bonds and what are federal government savings bond? So both of them are debt instruments issued by the federal government of Nigeria, and they all have a purpose to raise funds and promote investment among citizens. So the aim of federal government bond is to raise funds through the citizens of the country and also promote investment among the citizens of the country. The truth is that many Nigerians don't know that this exists. So, and that is why we are making it open for you to know that this exists, know the difference between them, and know the one to apply for. All right. So, who is the issuer and purpose? So, both the federal government savings bond and the federal government bond, I'm going to be saying this often, are both issued by what we call the Debt Management Office, DMO. There's an office called the Debt Management Office, and as you can see, their website is here, dmo.gov.ng. That's their website. So you can also go there to get more information on how these things work. So, like I said, there's a difference between both of them. FGM means Federal Government of Nigeria, in case you don't know. FGN, Federal Government of Nigeria. So the FGN bond is a long-term project funding, assuming the federal government wants to fund something that will last very long or that will take a lot of time. They use the federal government bond. But federal government savings bond, it encourages retail investment and financial inclusion. So at the end of this video, I'll tell you, you will know the one that you should be applying for, right? So who are the target investors? The federal government bond is targeting institutional investors and what we call HNWIs. HNWIs are called high net worth individuals. People like Dangote, Tony Elumelu, Boa, Adenuga, all those people are high net worth individuals, right? The Obi Kubana, them, all of them are high net worth individuals. But the federal government savings bond are retail investors and the general public. Do you understand the difference between them? So many general public normally go for FGN bond because the minimum amount is like 50K and they don't know it's not meant for them, right? Without knowing that what they are supposed to be investing in is federal government savings bond. And federal savings bond is normally open once a month, usually at the beginning of the month, right? So what is the minimum subscription? The FGM bond minimum subscription is 50,000 naira, which can now be multiplied, but the minimum is 50,000 naira. You can now multiply it to say 51, 52, 53, 50 million, 100 million, depending on whatever you have, right? But the minimum for the federal government bond is 50 million naira, while the federal government savings bond, the the minimum is 5,000 naira up to 50 million naira. Do you understand? So for the federal government savings bond, what just with 5,000 naira, you can do it. For instance, this video is being done in the month of June, and the federal government savings bond is open now to end on the 6th of June. So you can just give it a try. Just put in 5K and see how it works. It has 2 years tenors, 2 to 3 year tenor. So you can just test it to see how these investments work. And the return might be very low because the return on 5K might not be so much, but for you to just see how this investment works. So the minimum subscription for the FGN bond is 50,000 naira, and the minimum subscription for FGN savings bond is 5,000 naira. Then both of them have different tenors, right? depending on what is obtainable or what the DMO is offering. That's the Debt Management Office is offering. So for the tenor investment, the FGN Savings Bond is for 2 to 3 years, while the FGM bond can be from 5 to 30 years. So you can see that why they said that the FGM bond is for institutional investors and high net worth individuals. You see that it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. So the FGM bond is between 5 to 30 years and with minimum of 50,000 naira, and the FGN savings bond, understand the difference, savings bond. So I recommend the savings one for the general public and individual retail investors. So the FGN savings bond is for 2 to 3 years, right? So what is the interest rate? For FGN bond, the rate can be fixed or floating depending on the situation, but the FGN savings bond, the interest rate is fixed. For instance, the one for June, the interest rate is around 17.21 for 3 years and about 16% for 2 years tenor. So every year, oh, not just that is for the 3 years, every year. So 16.2% for year one, 16.2% for year two, 16.2%. That's for 2 years tenor. Then for 3 years tenor, you're getting 17% for year one, 17% for year two, 17% for year three. So that's what the interest looks like. But unlike FGM bond, it fluctuates. It can go higher and it can also go lower. It can also go lower. So what is the interest payment frequency? For FGN bond, they pay interest twice a year, but for FGN savings bond, they pay quarterly. So there are 4 quarters in a year. That means every 3 months, you're going to receive interest on your FGN savings bond. But for FGN bond, it's semi-annual. So you only receive interest twice in a year, but the tenor is longer. So imagine that you don't have 100 million you're using and you put it in federal government bond for like 25 years. That means you're going to be getting a lot twice a year for the next 25 years, depending on the tenor. Now, what is the task and risk? So there is no tax on this federal government savings bond and federal government bond. Both of them don't have any tax involved. There's tax exempt on interest income, and they are very low risk and backed by the federal government. I used to tell people that any investment that is backed by the federal government is secured. Most often is very, very, very secure. So that's it. Then tradability and liquidity, right? So FGM bond is tradable on the secondary market. That means if you deal on stocks, you can sell your bond in the secondary market. Maybe when it's a bit higher and you want to use the money for something else, you can sell your bond. But for FGN savings bond, it's not tradable. Once you buy, and you have to, they will hold it till maturity. So for example, if you invest 1 million, for instance, in federal government savings bond, you're going to pay it around 46,000 every quarter. And at the end of the 2 or 3 years quarter, depending on the one you go for, they're going to give you all your money back. Do you understand? So it is not tradable. It's held until maturity, right? Then what are the assets and platforms you can use to do this? So for FGM bond, you can purchase FGM bond through primary dealers and brokers. There are a lot of dealers and brokers in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We have Chapel Hill, Denim, we have AfriInvest, we have there are lots of them. We have Atlas Portfolios. There are lots of them in the secondary market. Lots of brokerages you can use. So, but for federal government savings bond, you can invest in platforms like InvestNaija, so and FBNQuest and all that. So I usually recommend InvestNaija for those who want to do FGN savings bond, and it's current for if you are watching this video as of June 2025, the FGN savings bond is currently open on InvestNaija, and it's going to end on the 6th of June. So these things don't last. The earlier, the better, right? So on this particular page, I did a summary table of the difference between the federal government bond and the federal government savings bond. So if you don't even have time to go through this video, you can come to this page, just pause the video and do chakam and just capture the screen to save it so that you can actually use it to actually know the difference between the FGN bond and the FGN savings bond, so that when you just hear people say, FGN bond is out, you don't just rush to buy. You know, is this savings bond or FGN bond? Is it the one that is meant for you or the one that is not meant for you? So, in conclusion, FGM bonds are for long-term and large-scale investors. It's for investors that want to do Dorime, you understand? Then FGN Savings Bond is for low risk. It is short-term, is for short-term retail investors. So thank you very much for watching this video. For more questions and further learning, you can go to the DMO website. That is www.dmo.gov.ng, and I would love you to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with your friends. So thank you very much. My contact is here 0706 1020 if you want to know more about how you can invest your money in Nigeria. Thank you very much and over. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye.